Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we are just absolutely thrilled to have a jam-packed program for our last interview of the day. We got our friends from EDfor Tech joining us. Todd Ullah, Chief Strategy Officer, joined by Project Manager Danielle Bush. Todd and Danielle, how you doing?
Doing great, thank you.
Doing good, thanks.
Very, very, very good. Honored to have joining us as the Chief Operating Officer for Logan Heights CDC, and that's Ebony James. How you doing, Ebony?
I am doing fabulous, Drew. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely. And joining us is my colleague. It's a big day in Cloudcast when we get Neville Villamoria to co-host twice. My goodness. It'll be in his paycheck, effective immediately on this. And Neville is the Senior VP of Marketing and Community Relations for Mission Fed Credit Union. Neville, thanks for joining us.
It's an honor. Thanks for having me.
Well, it was interesting, and the reason why Neville's here, when Todd first came on, I want to say a long time ago, right? Mm-hmm. Neville and Todd hit it off in, a nanosecond?
Pretty much.
The wavelengths were together. These are deep thinkers. They were using a vocabulary that was way above my pay grade, and I said, listen, the next time that we get Todd and Danielle on, we have Neville join us as well. So Neville, thanks for sitting in on this.
Thanks again for including me.
Absolutely. We'll start with you on this, Todd, and then shift it over to Danielle. What's the mission of EDfor Tech?
The mission for EDfor Tech is to create STEM thinkers today that can solve for tomorrow's problems. And we do that along three lines of work, which is STEM education related to professional learning and robotics. We are doing STEM camps or STEAM camps around the country, of which we're proud to work with Logan Heights this summer again in bringing those opportunities to children. And we do a lot of professional learning around the country to enact that mission and vision around science and engineering design.
So how long have you been Chief Strategy Officer?
So this is my third year. I can't believe it.
Oh, my goodness, third year. And Danielle, you're the project manager, and with that title comes 4 billion other responsibilities, I'm sure, on that, and that's in the job description. How long have you been with EDfor Tech?
I've been at the company since 2021.
2021, very good. And you were honored to say that both, Todd and Danielle were sponsors of the 20th annual Classroom of the Future Foundation Innovation Education Awards, and we really appreciate your support. You got some wonderful shots from that event. I would encourage everyone to go to the Classroom of the Future Foundation website. Todd, it was the best picture he's ever taken in his life. Isn't that what you were saying, Danielle?
It was great.
It was great.
You're going to replace my quotes from the superintendent's meeting for that.
Yeah. No, that's it is all good. And Danielle, before we tee it over to Ebony, talk a little bit about some of those summer camps. And I know Classroom of the Future Foundation just loves working with you.
Yeah, I'd love to talk a little bit about our summer camp programs. So this year we have 4 exciting programs planned in San Diego. We're going to be partnering with Ebony to launch 2 of those. So early in June, we start our camp with Ebony at USD, and then we also are going to be having a camp at Perkins Elementary School, both with Logan Heights CDC. And those are 4 to 5 week camps. The kids get to do hands-on robotics. We're going to do educational enrichment activities, coding, ed tech products. So that's going to be a lot of fun. The kids really like those camps. And then we're also partnering up with San Pasqual Reservation and their educational center and Feaster Charter School down in Chula Vista to launch some of those camps as well.
Oh, that's terrific. So, Ebony, let's talk all about Logan Heights CDC. How long you've been there? What's the mission, the goal, and all that?
So I've been at Logan Heights CDC since 2011.
Okay.
We're located south and east of downtown. So we're a community that tends to get overlooked and overshadowed by downtown.
Right.
The mission of Logan Heights CDC is to strengthen residents, families, individuals, and small businesses through community empowerment, economic development, education, and housing development. And so, we're a small community of about 55,000 people, predominantly Hispanic. 85% are community that is just really trying to thrive and build on a better foundation.
Right. So talk about what the summer camps and working with EDfor Tech is going to mean for your community.
Oh my God, EDfor Tech has been an amazing partner. I could have not asked for a better partner, and the work that they've brought and the ideas they've brought around just bringing STEAM to the community. Again, Logan Heights is a community that always gets overshadowed and overlooked by other programs in other neighborhoods. And so because of that, we're now able to give access to our kids directly. So, kids in our community don't often get to see scientists, or they don't often get to see mathematicians. And it's not just seeing them, but it's also seeing individuals who look like them as well. And so that's the impact we get to make through the work that we've put forth with EDfor Tech and bringing access to the community.
So, and I love just the title of the Logan Heights Future Innovators STEAM Summer Camp, and it just really says it all in that. And as Danielle was mentioning, a Perkins Academy, and so at USD, 124 students, is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Talk about, when they're chosen, how their eyes light up, how their parents light up, how everybody is just a great community in this.
Yeah, so last year was our first year we got to do it. And I really have to get a shout out to San Diego Futures Foundation.
Yeah.
They were able to help us be able to bring the money and the resources to be able to do this. So without the foundation, San Diego Foundation, we would have not been able to do it. The kids that are coming, you have some kids that came last year that are going to be coming back this year. And so we're just grateful for our kids to be able to have that accessibility, to be able to, see some of the things that they wouldn't traditionally be able to see if they didn't have this camp in the community.
Yeah, that's spot on. So Neville, I know this is absolutely in your individual wheelhouse, which means it's in Mission Feds as well. And so this focus on, many of the things you're talking about, empowering these students to be innovative, in STEAM, and of course what Todd was talking about is empowering educators and with leadership. I mean, leadership DNA oozes from you. Talk about how important that is.
Well, what you're hearing and seeing and feeling right here is this opportunity to break the cycle where demography determines your destiny, and to help those furthest from opportunity to activate their own potential through the lens of people just like them. We really need to see models of who we are in order to aspire to be who we could be. And so I think this confluence that we're having a chance to learn about, it can be a model for many ecosystems, particularly areas that often get overlooked or underrepresented.
Yeah, that's so spot on that. And while this will focus on Logan Heights in this area, I know we're going to get to this in a few minutes. EDfor Tech will be involved in some North and South County camps as well. We'll chat about this, but it's all throughout the county. And you talk about it and said, this is only a south of I-8 deal. Of course, that is absolutely wrong thinking. It's everywhere can have a lift up in these different areas in our community as well. We are chatting with our friends for EDfor Tech, Todd Ullah, Chief Strategy Officer, joined by his colleague, Danielle Bush, Project Manager, joined by Ebony James, Chief Operating Officer for Logan Heights CDC, joined by my colleague and frequent co-host of Spotlight on the Community at Neville Villamoria, Senior VP of Marketing and Community Relations for Mission Fed, as you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community's beautiful studio here. I think you'll attest to that, Ebony and Todd and Danielle, and they built a great studio here in Scripps Ranch. We're honored to have great guests come in like you folks on this, and it really does you make a difference. I'll start with you on this one, Todd, and then we can tie it right back over to Danielle. Talk about some of the STEM summer camps in North and South County.
Yeah, the North County areas we're doing at San Pasquale Indian Reservation, the education center there. And we're really happy to be able to offer opportunities for children in that area to engage in STEM and STEAM. And there'll be 30 kids roughly participating in that program. And then Feaster Charter School here in Chula Vista, will be engaged in the similar types of academic enrichment and STEAM activities.
Right, exactly. And will robotics be part of both of those? Everything that you're doing this summer, Danielle?
Yeah, so all of our camps are focused on STEM education, and so we do educational enrichment with math and reading early in the morning, and then we do different coding programs, and they also do coding with robots that they get to keep at the end of the camp, and so that's really exciting. Our Feaster camp started already this week, and we got feedback from the teachers that the kids are really enjoying that part. And as part of that, we got a picture of the things that the kids were interested in about what do they already know about robots, what do they want to know, and one of the things that they said they wonder about was if robots will take over the world. And so,
have they not already?
Exactly. So it's a lot of fun to see where the kids are and help them show how the technology is changing and make sure they're ready for the future.
Yeah, when we come back from break, I want to really ask Ebony, are the kids at Logan Heights CDC, are they all geeked up about the robots, learning all about robots and that aspect as well? And then wanted to chat about the NSBE Seek Summer Camp. There'll be students from Atlanta, Chicago, and Detroit, and all over the world that Todd can chat about too. And Ebony, Todd, and Neville and Danielle know this, but we always save time in the second half of our interview. What can we do to support your efforts? And not just these efforts here. What else are you folks doing throughout the year? And our listeners tend to be nice and generous and benevolent in volunteering their time and money in many cases. When we return, chatting with our friends from EDfor Tech and Logan Heights CDC. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest continuous running community podcast, now in our 17th year. Beautiful mission-fed studios here in Scripps Ranch, mission-fed, just lifting the bar for everybody for more than 60 years in this community, joined by our friends from EDfor Tech, Todd Ullah, Chief Strategy Officer, joined by his colleague Danielle Bush, Project Manager. Honored to have in the studio with us Ebony James, Chief Operating Officer for Logan Heights CDC, and my co-host Neville Billamoria, the Senior VP of Community Relations, Marketing, and everything in between for Mission Fed. Probably be head of custodial services already, if we're not already doing that as well. So right before break, we were just talking about the robotics that the kids will be using. Danielle was talking about it. So, Ebony, are your students fired up about this?
Oh, my God. My kids in the community, the fact that they get to, that's the piece that they love the most. And so we have to remind them that there is an academic component that we want to include. But they're fired up just because they get to have these robots. And at the end of the camp, like Danielle said, they get to take them home. And so the camp doesn't stop at the summer. It continues, and they can continue to practice with them and learn about the intricacies of the robots and how they built them and the things that the robots are able to do. Yeah,
and there's no question about it, because when you're having fun, you don't think you're learning, but we know that is not true. You are learning. Just you probably even learn more when you have fun in this aspect as well. What age group will the students be participating from when to when?
So you're looking at 3rd grade all the way up to 8th grade.
Okay.
So it varies in ages depending on when the birthdays are, but those are the grade levels.
Okay, that sounds great. And they all come from the Logan Heights area?
So they come from the surrounding areas as
Sure.
well. So we border Southeast San Diego, Barrio Logan, so they come from that community as well. And then Perkins Elementary, most of the kids come from that surrounding area as well. And I have to give a shout out to Principal Fernando.
Yes.
He's been extremely phenomenal in collaborating in this process. We could have not done this work without him and the San Diego Foundation.
So Fernando is just a wonderful principal at Perkins Elementary.
Absolutely.
He was sort of an honoree at the Classroom of the Future Foundation's innovation events. We had one of our sponsors present with them a special College and Career Pathways Award, and with that came some money to buy a telescope. And so he bought a telescope for us astronomy club. And boy, he said it just lit up the whole school doing that. So he is just a wonderful guy, and I'm glad he's still there and just doing great things in that area. Todd, talk a little bit about NSBE Seek Summer Camps, 3,500 students from all over some of these major cities in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. It's to build on what Neville was saying, is creating these opportunities for youth that traditionally don't get the opportunity to see themselves as scientists, engineers, mathematicians, etc. throughout the country. We partnered with the National Black Engineer Society, NSBE, to create learning opportunities for over 3,500 kids this summer in several cities: Atlanta, where else? Chicago, Detroit, Houston, San Diego. To offer the same type of camp experience that we're doing with Logan Heights in various areas around the country and in 2 countries in Africa. So we're really excited about continuing that partnership.
Well, and when you get those opportunities, and again, you guys all know this, it's in your DNA in this aspect. And again, as Todd was saying, Neville stated it well, and certainly Ebony knows this, that when you see that person looks like me and they're successful doing X, Y, and Z, I guess I could do that. Of course you can do that, right? Mm-hmm. And, as Neville has mentioned in other programs, when you get an audience, when you get a group collaboration, who cares if it's 2 people, okay, or if it's 202 people really supporting, moving down that direction, rowing in the same direction, you really can't shout that out enough. And I know, Neville, that's really important for you, is letting people know these opportunities exist.
That's why we have you on the program and just sharing the good word, my brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
So what came up for me is we have all these acronyms: STEM.
Yeah.
Then we added STEAM with the art. Mm-hmm. Some call it DREAM with design and research.
Right.
STEAM for me, you guys inspired me with a new acronym for STEAM. So it's see me, teach me, engage me, affirm me, and then model it for me. Yeah,
and so Ebony was writing that down. So this is why we have Neville on the show, okay? Because he's always adding some of these things over here. Now, what's going to come with that, Ebony, is a trademark, so you're going to have to pay the licensing to use this. I'm just teasing, of course, in this area. But this is what it's all about. You're getting like people over there that get geeked up about some of these types of things, and where it is something where go ahead and how do we get 1 + 1 = 8? And that sounds like it's, it's so trite. It's so true in this area. We're chatting with Todd Ullah, Chief Strategy Officer for EDfor Tech, joined by Danielle Bush, the Project Manager for EDfor Tech, Ebony James, Chief Operating Officer for Logan Heights CDC, Neville Villamoria, Senior VP of Marketing and Community Relations for Mission Fed. I'm Drew Schlosberg, as you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. So this is the part of the show where we come to and say, okay, what can we do to really raise the bar for folks, for you? I'll start with you on this, Todd and Danielle. How can we support more things that EDfor Tech is doing? We're honored for being on the leadership team of Classroom of the Future. And so if we can give a shout out to them, that's great. But what else can our listeners do? I'll start with you, Todd.
Yeah, get involved in both formal and informal science opportunities and engineering opportunities with your kids and community and your schools. First of all, that's a big deal. We need more communication, more discourse between home and school to really create excitement around these areas, and also industry. Any industry partners, we're looking for them now, in fact, with Logan Heights and our other programs to participate with these children to support the types of work that they do. So those are direct ways that the community in the San Diego area can support us.
Right, and we also mentioned before, you guys are very much into professional development in this area too. Talk about that.
Yeah, we're one of the things we pride ourselves on in EDfor Tech, and Danielle can chime in too, is that we want to lower the barrier of entry to teaching STEM. This idea that Neville's talking about and others around emancipatory experiences for youth that kind of free them and enable them to see themselves outside of their communities and outside of the lives that they're currently living to new lives and new opportunities. So we want to help with professional learning around science areas, engineering, design, and of course, coding and computer science.
All right, Danielle, any final comments on that?
Yeah, just to piggyback on what Todd said, wanting to create this community, and I know this is something we talk often with Neville about, is just creating this ecosystem of support and wrapping around these kids and helping them to believe in themselves and know that, this is possible for them to, if they want to have this education opportunity, if they want to go into this career, that they see themselves and they're able to do that. And so by just creating the community that supports that and having the, reducing the barriers, like Todd said, for the teachers, making it more accessible for them to know and understand and integrate STEM into their classrooms every day, because sometimes that's a hurdle for them. They have so many other things to do and worry about and standards and things. How do I even think about bringing a robot into the classroom? But the kids need that, and so we all need to wrap around to support them.
So how do people get a hold of you at EDfor Tech?
EDforTech.com.
Well, that was simple. EDforTech.com. Okay, sounds good. So, Ebony, absolute pleasure and honor meeting you. How do we raise the bar? How do we support all the wonderful things you folks are doing at Logan Heights CDC, not just for the summer program, but year-round?
So, Logan Heights CDC, we're located on Imperial Avenue. We do a food distribution every third Friday of the month. So we're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for people to get engaged that want to be a participant of the programs that we do. We have other programs like our Youth Empowerment and Diversion program. We have a preschool on site. So we're always looking for individuals to get engaged. And I always stick with the quote that Viola Davis says that, the only difference between communities of colors and communities of non-color is opportunity. And so it's just, if you give communities of color opportunity, they will excel every single time. And so, we're located at www.loganheightscdc.org, and we're always looking for people who want to be a participant of the work that we're doing.
Right. Promise me you'll make a return appearance on our Spotlight show.
I promise.
Okay, good.
I promise. And I'm going to drag my CEO here too.
Very, very good. We'd be honored to have your CEO on and you make a return appearance. Neville, any final comments? And as always, thank you just for your heartfelt compassion for pretty much anything that's important in San Diego County.
Well, just deep gratitude to all of you guys for the work you're doing to help those furthest from opportunity transform their lives, and that for the generations that follow. Every single kid, that's a huge difference. So thank you for everything you're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that footprint will be wide. Another wonderful show. Thank you so much, Todd Ullah, Chief Strategy Officer for EDfor Tech, Danielle Bush, Project Manager for EDfor Tech, and Ebony James, again, an honor meeting you. Looking forward to having you and your CEO back on. She's the Chief Operating Officer for Logan Heights CDC. Neville, you always warm my day when you come on and be a co-host as well. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest running community podcast. We're now in our 17th year here in this beautiful Mission-Fed studio in Scripps Ranch, and Mission-Fed continuing to raise the bar for so many folks in San Diego County for more than 60 plus years and counting. Hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission-Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.